I'm Kat Iniba, and thank you so much for tuning into Halo Halo, your one-stop for all things entertainment and lifestyle. The world premiere of the very first feature documentary on Tai Chi, titled The Professor Tai Chi's Journey West, is airing right now in Beverly Hills at the Laemmle Music Hall, but only for a limited time, only until May 12th. And joining us today is award-winning filmmaker and the director of the documentary, Barry Strugatz. Welcome, Barry.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, first tell me, it's gotten great reviews, first of all, so congratulations. World premiere. Tell me why you decided to do the documentary.
Well, Cheng Man-Ching is one of the pioneers in bringing Tai Chi to the West. He came over in the early 60s.
Right.
And he was, not only was he a great martial artist, he's considered one of the greatest one of the greatest Tai Chi masters of modern times.
Right.
And he came over in the 60s, and he brought more than just Tai Chi over. It was part of his whole expertise in all the traditional classical Chinese arts. He was a painter, a poet, a calligrapher. Yeah. He was a physician, traditional Chinese medicine.
Wow.
And to him, all of them were joined by the Eastern philosophies of Taoism and Confucianism.
Wow. And I hear that you mentioned that he came over, brought it here, started in New York, and a lot of Chinese people were against him teaching it to non-Chinese, right?
Yeah, they didn't think it should go, they thought it was a Chinese secret and they didn't want it to spread, but Cheng Man-Ching just knew it was great for health, and he wanted to spread it around the world. Yeah. And he actually moved over here with his family in 1964. He was actually 63 years old.
He should have been retired.
Right. Well, he just started. So my documentary is about his last 12 years in New York.
In New York.
And one interesting thing about him is he came from a very conservative, traditional background.
Right.
When he came to New York in the 60s, a lot of his students were like hippies and radicals, and there were two different kinds of people, but they influenced each other. So he brought the Eastern ways over to the West, and they sort of influenced him, and they loosened him up, and he became more relaxed, and his Tai Chi grew.
Yeah, and you were telling me that over or around 250 million people in the world practice Tai Chi. What is it you think, why do you think that is? Why are we all in love with this creation?
Well, it has many aspects to it. The primary aspect, I think, is health. It's a great exercise. Right. They're doing scientific research now that proves that it improves your balance, your strength, your coordination. And it's a great physical exercise. Anybody could do it. It's very easy to learn, whether you're young or old.
Right.
But there are other aspects to it also. It just started originally as a martial art, and it can be used for self-defense. And there are a lot of people into it just for that aspect. But also it's considered a moving meditation. So it's a form of meditation when you do it, and so it has a spiritual aspect to it.
Yeah, I read that it was spiritual aspect. It could help lower blood pressure as well. Yes. How did you become introduced to Tai Chi?
Well, I had two friends who were into martial arts. One was into Aikido, and the other one, my other friend, was into karate. And they said, Barry, you should do a martial art. And so I started thinking, and I was not that athletic or coordinated. Right. And I wanted to find something that I could do until I got older, because some of those other martial arts are very punishing on the body, and you can't keep doing it. So that's how I gravitated to Tai Chi.
For those that don't know, tell us a little bit more about what Tai Chi is, because I do see it being practiced at several parks here in Los Angeles.
Right. Well, they're very slow movements, and you're constantly using your body. You're using natural forces, gravity, to move, to balance, to shift your weight. So it increases your strength and your coordination.
Okay, and the documentary, what was the experience like, finding the research or the people to interview? I know you talked to a lot of his, what would you call that?
His students?
His students and his family members too, right?
Yeah, he died in 1975, and I studied with several of his students who are now in their 80s and 90s, and I realized that they were sort of passing on, and we wanted to preserve these stories. So. One of my teachers, Ken Van Sickle, is a photographer and cinematographer. He was one of his senior students, and he took a lot of photographs of the professor back then, and we decided to join forces and to make this documentary. So we interviewed about 20 of his students and children.
Yeah, was it hard to reach out to his family?
No, they were very cooperative. They're very nice, and they want to spread. His mission was to spread Tai Chi around the world, and they felt that this was part of that.
Yeah. What was one big surprise while doing the documentary, or were there any, about the professor or Tai Chi?
Just that he was, one thing is he was just extremely modest, and he never called himself a master or grandmaster or anything. And I think that's one reason why he's not better known, because his teachings are very profound. A lot of them are very, I think, interesting and important and helpful. So I think he was just like a humble guy. But he didn't also, he didn't act like a great master or a spiritual teacher. He was just like a regular person.
And what do you want to share? What message do you want to share through the documentary?
Well, I would like it to appeal to a few different kinds of people. First of all, people who are curious about Tai Chi and think they might be interested in it. I hope it's an introduction and tells you how deep it is and how beneficial it is to you. And also for people who practice Tai Chi, I think they can deepen their practice by learning a little bit more of the underlying philosophy of Tai Chi.
Well, I know that it's airing right now or screening right now at the Music Hall in Beverly Hills. But for people that aren't here, for our audience that's watching in Hawaii, it's also going to be available, right?
Right. On July 12th, it should be available worldwide on Amazon, Netflix, iTunes. And on the DVD, we'll have some really cool extras. So.
Oh, nice. Now, for tickets or for more info on the film, where can we go?
You can go to our website, which is taichifilm.com, but that's TAI-CHI-film.com.
Okay, thank you so much, Barry.
You.
Thank you for sharing this documentary and spreading the word on Tai Chi.
Thank you very much for having me.
Again, for more information on Barry's film, The Professor, Tai Chi's Journey West, be sure to head to the website that you see on the screen. And if you're watching and are here locally, be sure to catch the screening, which is happening right now in Beverly Hills at the Music Hall. All the information is on your screen. We'll be back.